Hey there folks, welcome back. I just walked up to the wrong car. Let's try again. There we go, this is the right one. I'm looking for an Expedition, not an F-150. So I'm going on a diagnostic test drive. This one should be really easy or difficult, not really certain yet. We have here a 2017 Ford Expedition with the V6 turbine powered EcoBoost motor, and customer states they were on a road trip with it. They towed it, or they were towing something. I don't hear what it was, but they were towing a trailer up to St. Augustine, I believe, and it stopped shifting, or it went into some kind of limp mode. They said they were driving around at 40 miles an hour at about 4,000 RPMs or so, something like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this out on the road, get it up to operating temperature, and see what this thing does. It does not have a check engine light, and nobody has reported a check engine light. First things first, I need cold air. It's hot in here. Okay, let's pull up some vehicle info here, and automatics. Read VIN, please. Thank you. Yes. Okay. Yeah, we got the 3.5 EcoBoost V6 cylinder. Based on the description of what they said happened to it, I'm suspecting they got the transmission hot and it went into some kind of a fail-safe mode, or what people would call limp mode. Every manufacturer has a different term for this, and some vehicles don't even have programming built into them to protect themselves. But I believe that may have been what happened. Although the gauge may not have said it was overheated, that does not mean that the transmission was overheated. And no, it does not have an 8-inch touchscreen. Fancy module tree. Scanning now. Alright, so I just scanned all the modules here for a trouble code. And the only thing I've got is found inside of the power steering control module. And that code is U3003. All it really says is battery voltage. This is not a Ford IDS scan tool or even a Snap-on scan tool, so I could expect these generic definitions. What this is indicating so far is that this module has seen a less than ideal voltage at some point, and this could be a clue. It could be unrelated, but that's really what I've got to go off of for right now. So like I said, I'm going to take this thing out on the road and see if I can't recreate the issue that they were talking about. Okay, so I've been riding around in this Expedition here for what, 10-15 minutes now. Did some stop and go traffic, got it up to speed a little bit. Everything's up to temperature. I've been watching the scan tool. There's really nothing standing out to me, and I haven't seen any weird symptoms. The only thing I did notice is on occasion the AC would slow down and then speed right back up after a couple minutes. But that could be related. Like we saw, there was that battery voltage code. So I'm gonna have to go in that direction and when I get back to the shop. So let's head back now. I'll get it into a stall, and let's pop its hood and see what our battery terminals look like, because as we've learned from the past, crappy battery connections or damaged terminals, corroded wires can cause all kinds of strange, unexplainable symptoms. Okay, we're back. I'm gonna pull up the scanner again and just try to revisit. Maybe some code showed up while we were out. Okay, yeah, nothing in the scan tool. So let's check out our battery. Weird. Okay. Not impressed. And yeah, that one's a little wiggly too. Let's do something about that before we do anything. Okay, first things first, let's get these terminals off. I see they've been sprayed down with some anti-corrosive stuff. That could be an issue. Come off. overkill. All right, yeah, look at, you can see it's, that red schmoo stuff is kind of in the way of making a connection. I don't know if that stuff is conductive, but it doesn't look to be the best. I see corrosion inside of here. I'm gonna clean these up and put them back together, and we're gonna try again. Aha. Oh, that's nice. Nice shiny surface. Okay, what do you fellas think about that? I think this might be a much better connection than that glob of red paint grease stuff that was in there. So let's I'm gonna put this back together, and I'll clear that code out for the that low voltage on the power steering module thing, and we'll see if there's any change, or if particularly in that AC. I want to see if that AC drops in and out like I noticed it was doing. Okay, let's tighten this stuff up. Okay. Let's give it the wiggle test. I like that better. Okay. And this one too. Click. All right. Although I don't expect, oh, that wasn't closed. Fork. There. Okay, I do expect that DTC to still be present in the power steering module, even though I did unplug the battery. But you never know. So let's fire it up again and find out. Okay, so this code is still present. I'm gonna go ahead and clear this. Engine off, no it's not. And now it is. So let's clear that bad boy. Yes, clear it, clear it, clear it. Okay, trouble codes are now not detected. Let's key it off. I'll pull the key out. I'm gonna open the door so the modules think I got out of the car. I'm gonna open it again so they think I got in the car. And let's restart. Cranking up the ZAC again because it just got hot. And let's back out and start over, and we're gonna read codes again. Okay, that power steering control module voltage code did not reoccur. It just went from black to green or blue to green or whatever. But I'm gonna have it go through and scan all the modules one more time to see if any other codes decide to pop up. I don't think they will. And we're gonna go from there, I suppose. There is a reason that every single diagnostic procedure in every single car with every single manufacturer says step 1, make sure that battery terminals are clean and tight and the battery is fully charged. So we've got a weird intermittent shifting problem. I've got a voltage diagnostic trouble code stored. I had AC that would randomly just, fan speed would turn down. And I also heard that at random the radio would just shut down and go blank, and then it would reboot and things would work normally again. So looking at this holistically, using the big picture of what we've seen, I would estimate that we have a current delivery problem or a low voltage problem. Either one would cause potentially the transmission control module or powertrain control module in this instance to enter a limp mode, and the trans may not shift properly. All that being said, let's take her back out on the road one more time. We'll just we'll cruise around the block, and then we'll come back and then re-scan the system again and see if we've got any other faults or something to go off of. But I think at this point I'm going to be satisfied with cleaning and resecuring those battery terminals. At the very least, we can give the customer an answer that something was found. We can give this car back to them and have them drive it to report back later on if a fault is present or if they notice anything odd happening, like what they had stated earlier. Now, one of the biggest indicators to me that an issue was happening was the fan speed was randomly slowing down while driving. So I'm gonna be looking for that symptom to reoccur, because it did do it twice to me while I was driving. So story time. If you guys have visited my other channel, Rain Man Ray Outside of the Shop, you may have noticed an old white Honda motorcycle, kind of looks like a Harley, that is outside. Well, it used to be outside. Now I've moved it into my pole barn shop. But one of the reasons I stopped riding that bike, there's actually a couple. One of which is the same week I had some very scary problems with that bike. A friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, he was killed in an accident on his motorcycle. He was a lifelong rider, a very skilled rider. He knew the rules. He always wore protective gear, but he ended up in an accident and didn't make it. Right around that same time, let me back up some. I rode my motorcycle daily. It was my commuter, okay? And right around the time when Dave was in his accident, probably, I think it might have been the same week actually, I was riding home. It was right at dusk. I was on a 4-lane road, 2 lanes one way, 2 lanes the other way, and there was a guy on my left-hand side who was jumping into a turn lane. And I remember there was like a work van on my right, kind of back, maybe a car length back, in what would be the blind spot. And the guy hits his turn lane. He's making a left, and I'm in the left lane, just moving along, no big deal. Well, I'm not sure even, how or for whatever reason this occurred, but it did. My headlight goes out. Okay. Now the second my headlight goes out, the guy in the turn lane, he decides he's going to go ahead and he's going to abandon his turn, and he pulls right back out into traffic right in front of me. And I know what he did. He checked his mirrors and no one was there except for the van. He didn't see me, and I didn't even have time to hit the brakes. I swerved out of the way, and my right peg hit the ground just from swerving so hard. Keep in mind, I'm doing about 45 or 50 miles an hour. As soon as my right peg hit the ground, I leaned left again to right the motorcycle, because I knew that van was right there somewhere on my right. I didn't even have time to check my shoulder to look. I just went peg and then went to right the motorcycle, and I righted it so hard my other peg hit the ground just getting back up. It was an insane maneuver, and I ended up going around the car that pulled out in front of me, and then my headlight comes back on. And so I'm in disbelief. I think I'm dead. I'm like checking myself. Did that really just happen? My mind is absolutely blown at this point. So I pulled over and kind of banged on the headlight. It didn't flicker. I was like, okay, that was weird. And I rode on home. I checked it out when I got home. Checked the connections for corrosion, things like that. The headlight seemed okay. So I didn't really know what to do with it. The rest of that week, I made sure that I just didn't ride at dusk, because I couldn't figure out what had happened. So I ordered another headlight. It was an HID. I ended up ordering another set, threw the new set of the new bulb in there and the new ballast, plugged it all in. Everything got dielectric greased. I did not want this to happen again. That very same day, driving home You know, it's a little past dusk this time. It was later at night, and fortunately nothing scary happened on this second trip. But I'm riding home, you know, by myself. The road had gone from a 4-lane down to a 2-lane because I live kind of out in the middle of nowhere. Riding along, headlight goes out. Okay, now we're getting weird. So I flicked the high beam, low beam, nothing. I have no headlights. Fortunately, I had my my stream light, you know, my shop flashlight. It was in my backpack, so I pulled that thing out and just kind of held it up onto the handlebars, and I used my flashlight to get myself home. After that, I parked the bike for a week or so. I get the itch to ride it again, or my wife needed the car. I'm not sure what was going on at the time, but I had to ride the bike, so I really went to dig into it to check this out. And again, I revisited the headlights, the connections, the grounds, the switch. You know, nothing was making sense. It should have been working. So I pulled the seat off, pulled the side panels off, and I got down into the battery. And what I found absolutely blew my head off. The negative battery cable had come unbolted from the battery. The bolt was gone, the nut was gone, and the cable was just laying on top of the battery terminal. Now keep in mind, this motorcycle would start, it would run, it never gave me an inkling that it didn't want to start. You hit the button, it would crank right over, no problem. It delivered all kinds of electrical power. And I assumed that as I'm riding around and things are kind of jostling and bouncing, that the cable was bouncing off of the negative terminal. And that was causing an open circuit in the headlight circuit, because obviously nothing has any power. And the ballast in the HIDs went ahead and shut down, and I guess it was overheating just from being turned on, off, on, off, on, off. As it's driving, it would overheat the ballast and just shut it down until it cooled back off again. I was so absolutely blown away by the series of events that had taken place. You know, I almost got killed. It could have been killed twice. I had to ride home with a flashlight because my battery was not even connected. And at the same time, within that same 10 days, I had lost a good friend to his motorcycle, and then mine tried to take me out that same week. And I took a kind of a good long look at life just because of that. It was weird. It was like a Final Destination kind of thing. And because of that, that motorcycle is still sitting, and I have not driven it in probably 3 years, maybe even 4 years at this point. It absolutely just wrecked my head how the thing would start and run no problem, but twice the headlight had gone out on me, and one of the times it nearly killed me. So, you know, I said to myself, Ray, you've got kids. This is the strangest thing you've ever seen. You know, you almost died, and you know, I realized at that point they just weren't worth it. And you know, like I said, I parked that bike, and it is still parked to this day. I know I went off on a pretty long tangent there, but you know, the story came to mind. So, you know, aside from every single manufacturer saying step one, check your battery terminals to make sure they're clean and tight, you know, that one kind of hits home for me, because those clean and tight battery terminals almost cost me my life one day. So anyway, I know that was a lot of information, and I did just go on like a 7-minute tangent and tripled the length of this video, but I felt it was a good time to share this point with you guys. And you know, maybe in my head it was a way to kind of hammer home that although it seems minuscule, battery terminals can actually be a big deal. So all that being said, we are now back at the shop. I just pulled back in, and I am going to quick scan this thing again. And I'm not expecting to see any trouble codes show up. You may have heard, or you may not have heard, but while we were out, this AC system did not shut down. Another thing that I noticed about this is while driving, these lights had been going out, and now they are not going out and they're still on. So I think I'm gonna give it like a 92% confirmed that I did at least make a difference in the operational status of this truck. I may not have fixed their immediate concern, again, they could have overheated the transmission while towing, and that was the cause of their limp mode issue. Regardless, I'm going to go ahead and call this one good at this point. Perhaps I'll drive it again later on, but I don't think I will. Maybe I'll get one of the other guys to do it, because I've got some other stuff to toy with. Anyway, all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you liked my my story about how I almost got killed from a battery terminal. And I hope it helps you out in the future if you guys are trying to diagnose something on your own car, weird issues or random things happening to you. You know, the point is check your battery terminals, make sure that they're clean and tight, your battery's fully charged. And you know, if you still have problems after that, then you can proceed to some more intrusive or in-depth diagnosis. Anyway, if you like this video or any of that other stuff I just talked about, hit that thumbs up button. It really helps me out, and the YouTube algorithm really loves that, which also again really helps me out, and it also helps you guys out because it shares my videos with other people that may want to watch them. So like I said, if you like it, hit that thumbs up button, and as always, don't forget, have a great day, guys.